Good to see you this morning. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing just good. Really good. Love your picture there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be a good day. And well, every day is a good day, try missing one, they say.
I know, right?
Yeah,
It's easy to do nowadays.
well, you just got to appreciate every minute. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was at a Harv Eker event. This has been a few years ago, and I sat behind Les Brown. I don't know. He's a motivational guy. I don't know if you know who he is. Um,
Yes, he used to work at the Post-Dispatch with me.
Oh, well, excellent. Yeah, I sat behind him and we struck up a conversation during the break one time. And he said, a couple of things he said is he said, people don't remember what you say. They just remember how you make them feel. And I said, wow, that's
Exactly.
so true. And then the other thing he says is he goes, every day is a good day. He goes, you can find something good. He goes, every day is a good day. Just try missing one,
Right.
So it's like,
Right.
yeah, I can see that because all you gotta do is miss one and everything's different.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So
So
looks like,
we need to appreciate it.
yes, you do. And there's three things that I'm very grateful for myself every day. The first thing is the day itself. I open my eyes and I look over if Laura, my wife's laying next to me. I know it's at least a good day. Who knows what's going to happen? The second thing that I'm very grateful for is fresh water. I was in San Diego a few years ago. Actually, I was at Robert Allen's house. We were at a hotel. And I was talking to some people from South Africa, and they were the richest people in the village, but they had to, they sold cows and chickens and goats and stuff to get their airline tickets. But they were telling me how great our water was. And the hotel water's, it's okay, you could survive. But they said,
Mm-hmm.
no, they said, we pay people every day to walk I think it was 15 kilometers a day to get us water. And they say some days it's brown and some days it's gray and some days it's rusty looking and just, they said,
Oh
you
my
never know
God.
what we're going to get. So they said that. And the third thing that I've always said this too, and this year it's especially funny, Gina, is I'm grateful for toilet paper, for the obvious reason, but I compare toilet paper to our life. The closer you get to the end of your life, the faster the roll goes. So
Right.
just appreciate it. Welcome, guys.
Yes.
Come on in. Yeah, so those are the three things I think about every day of my life, no matter what happens.
Yeah, I do the same thing you do. Get up every morning and say my prayers and what I'm grateful for before I even step out of the bed.
Oh,
So,
good for you. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Welcome. If anybody wants to unmute yourself, feel free to talk. We're just going to have some little networking this morning. We don't get as much chance to talk anymore like we used to. We used to meet at Applebee's every month and a couple of times here and there. And I just thought we'd get on a little bit early and see what everybody's up to. So do you have anything, Gina, new that you're working on or things you want to work on?
Well, right now I'm trying to learn how to do notes. So I've been trying to research and study that and get that one figured out.
Good.
So I'm trying to do that.
Yeah, no, I love notes. I love financing myself. I think you're going to be really, I don't know if you've watched much of Ron lately, but Ron LeGrand, he's really been getting into a lot of the financing and he's got a little different twist on it. So I'm pretty excited we have him today.
Yeah, when I saw that that's what he was talking about, I said, yes, I need to be at this meeting. And I'm at
Yes.
work, but I need to be at this meeting.
Oh, well, good. Well, good. Yeah, we're glad you're here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. So we've got a couple more join. There's Lloyd. There's our president here. I see he just came on. Yeah. Feel free to unmute yourself. Yeah.
How you doing? I see you got a few early risers here.
Oh yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
When?
Hey there. We got Dave and Carlos. Yeah. So come on in and unmute yourself if you want to talk. We're just going to kind of have some informal networking right now. Gene and I were just talking about what a great day it is and what every day is.
Can't take it for granted, right?
Not at all.
No.
No.
It's a beautiful time of year too. I mean, John, I understand why people from all over the world are buying your lake lots in Missouri. I just spent the last week down the Ozarks, 5 days, and it's beautiful country, and a lot of people, especially in Europe, land is very expensive, and you can't, and they're not making any more of it there.
Right.
And so, owning a little piece of paradise is a great dream for a lot of people that can't do it anywhere else.
Right.
Yeah. I think especially now too, Lloyd, a lot of people are really taking things more serious. I mean, it's okay to live in the city, which we all do, you do pretty much, but you got to be able to get away. Were you, did you stay in a hotel or were you camping?
No, took our RV down to the campground at Hawn State Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we spent 4 nights down there. We took in a couple of conservation areas that were in the area too, and took some great hikes. And just a beautiful time of year.
Wow.
The leaves are just starting to change, and a little bit of color. In a couple more weeks, they're really going to be ablaze. But
Yeah.
beautiful time of
Cooler
year.
nights too helps.
Pardon?
Some cooler nights
Oh
helps.
yeah, why? It was down in the 40s down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's doing it.
Campfire weather.
Oh yeah, we burn a campfire every night. We're there 4 nights.
There you go.
Nice.
Mhm.
Look like you're somewhere where it's warm there, Dave.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. In my mind.
That's where it starts.
In my mind. I got the shirt. I got the virtual background.
Excellent.
Got a cup of coffee. It's everything I need.
Perfect. Perfect. What part of the country do you live in, Dave?
Here in St. Louis.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
Right.
yep. Relatively new to the STLREIA. Been a member maybe 7 months, but of course now it's COVID. So
Okay.
I guess maybe it was 3 months before COVID hit. So I guess around the new year I joined. So
Okay.
still appreciating the network opportunities, especially now that we don't get as many.
Yeah.
So that I love these virtual things. I've joined some groups that I normally wouldn't get to join, further away, remote markets that I'm interested in. I'm able to do that via Zoom now, which is great.
Mhm.
A lot of these educational seminars are virtual now instead of going to a boot camp for 3 days on the weekend.
Right.
But I miss the networking.
Mhm.
So I appreciate that you started a little bit early so we get a chance to get to know each other a little better. I think that's the piece that all this virtual doesn't quite address enough.
Mhm.
So kudos to you for recognizing that and giving us a little time to do that.
Well, thank you, Dave, for bringing that up, because that's one of the things that I personally miss too. Is
Yeah.
we used to have our informal network lunches at Applebee's, and then we always had time before and after the meeting, so you got to know each other, see what you're doing.
Mhm.
If you need a referral, that's one of the things that Lloyd brought up. A couple weeks ago, we started with the haves and I call them have-nots, but the haves and wants. You got something to buy or sell, and that's
Sure.
something we really are missing a lot of, because not that you do a lot of business, but you get to network with people when you get to meet in person and kind of see what people are doing. It's just a little off the cuff and a little different, So,
Right.
yeah, what
It
type of
is.
investing are you doing, Dave? Are you looking to do?
So I like notes. I've started with notes, maybe a little bit out of necessity. Maybe necessity is a strong word, but I sold a property in Arkansas last year,
Mhm.
and I wanted to be able to offer creative finance with it. And I was able to, after a little bit of study, bought a couple kind of introductory courses to notes and creating originating notes, and so that was a huge success. And so I've got one under my belt. I'm getting monthly payments,
Mhm.
living the dream.
Mhm.
I want to do it again.
Mhm.
And so I've got one under contract in Bonne Terre, and I'm looking if it's the same model, where it needs some rehab. It's probably going to go to some sort of handyman or a couple that wants to build a little equity, and then offer them financing. it's a lower end price, and so, you know, banks generally aren't as interested in those lower end prices.
Mhm.
But when the property's done, the ARV is going to be, you know, close to 160. You know, somebody's got an opportunity to make some equity doing some rehab, and so yeah, and so I like to offer financing in that situation.
Mhm.
So Gina, I think you're in the right place. I didn't understand Ron is going to discuss that today.
Mhm.
I just recognized the name and wanted to hear, you know, hear from greatness, kind of, as it were, you know.
Right.
Thank you, David. Yes, I read the email that John sent out, the first one. It had some additional information in it, and I saw that it was about notes, so I registered right away.
That's great. Yeah, I'm doubly glad now.
You know, Dave, you talked about Bon Terre down in St. Francis County. One of the banks that we've used quite a bit. Now they merged. It used to be Bank Star of the Lead Belt, but now it's First State Community Bank, and they
Okay.
do a lot of low end stuff. We've actually had stuff. The vice president I used to deal with personally, he's gone now. He retired, but they still do a lot of stuff down there, and they've got several branches. But they'll do lower end. We've had stuff as low as, most of that stuff was short term, but we did stuff as low as $22,000, $25,000 with them.
Oh, wow.
And I
Okay.
mean, because most banks will not touch stuff like that. Most of ours were short term, but the loans were always really good. And most of ours were adjustable, which people back in the day always told you, you know, get fixed rates. Ours have always gone down though. Our rates have just been.
Well, right.
I mean, they keep going down, and I don't even question it. Well, the worst ones we had stayed even. You know, they stayed at 5.25%. That's the very worst ones, and those were on commercial type loans.
Yeah, John, I could attest to that too. I took out probably 25 years ago. I took the one of my rental houses. I took the lowest rate I could get, which wasn't adjustable at the time, and it has done nothing but go down the last 25 years. My rate has gone down. In fact, I even extended it. They gave me an option. I think it was originally a 20-year loan. They gave me the option to extend it at the same adjustable rate, and so I took it out for another 5 years.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I just saw a headline that the Fed intends to keep rates low through 2023.
I don't doubt that.
So, yeah, I mean, that bodes well for adjustable rate loans. It's
Sure.
got some length to it still.
Well, the financing properties and the rental properties, they all make sense when you get a low rate yourself if you're financing them. I mean, it just makes total sense.
Yeah, the arbitrage is great.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got more cash flow. I mean, when I first started in the first couple of rental properties I had, the margin was so slow. If you had, 2 or 3 months of vacancy, it was digging into your pockets pretty heavily on some of those. And that's we're not counting repairs and utilities and everything. But with if you got a good spread right there, you can actually afford to give somebody a better deal. Plus you can afford to, have a vacancy, which I don't, we don't like vacancies, but that's going to happen from now,
They happen.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a
That's a
different
great
world.
tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. First State Community Bank. I'm going to look into them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Been around a long time. Yep. In fact, we just had a incident where I had somebody. I'm doing a option with a guy, another investor we had a multifamily down there, and I just found out that Tuesday night one of the tenants burned the place down. So,
Oh no.
I don't know what's going to happen with my end of it because we still owed a little bit of money on it. It's kind of I guess a sandwich type deal, and it was all working real well for the last several years. He was supposed to exercise his option coming up here in the next 6 or 8 months, I think it is. So I just found that out yesterday morning. So I don't know what's going on with that right now.
Oh, good luck with that. I'm sorry to hear that.
That's down in Park Hills, which is not too far. Yeah.
Talk about beautiful country.
Yeah, it really is.
Lloyd brought up the Ozarks, but boy, you sure get a sense of that down around Park Hills and Bon Terre. I mean, driving through there, it's just gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on in. We got a couple more people joining us. If you'd like to say something, just feel free to unmute yourself. We're just kind of talking here and see what everybody's doing, what's going on. So feel free to say hi. whatever you're doing. Lloyd, is there anything new that you've been working on? Besides, I know you do a lot of lease options and things.
I do lease options. In fact, I got one of my, you talk about coming up, one of your tenants was coming up with a lease option. I got one of mine. Actually, it's the only one I've got active right now. The lease runs out at the end of mid-December. That's right. They moved in right before Christmas last year, and I'm thinking about offering them an extension if they're not ready to purchase yet, because I don't know if I don't really want to. I'm not ready to buy another place unless I find something on one of our haves and wants coming up here in the short term. Seems like all the wholesalers I know that operate here in St. Charles, they like the St. Charles properties. They put them in their own rental portfolio rather than turning them over wholesale to somebody else. I did pick up one a couple years ago from a wholesaler here in St. Charles, but that's I'm trying to keep things closer to home. I live in St. Charles. I'm a born and raised St. Charles County guy, and trying to keep my portfolio close to home. Keep an eye on things.
So you're looking right now to buy something in St. Charles, or are you just waiting? Okay.
Especially if this tenant exercises their option, I'm looking to do a 1031 exchange. That's what I usually do.
Right.
When one of my lease options to exercise their option to buy, I'm out looking. Even when they first indicate they're ready to buy, I'm out looking for a replacement property, and to do a 1031 tax deferred exchange. And so far, that's been working okay for me. But
oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's good to have a plan like you do, though. A lot of people they do stuff and then they don't have the next step in line. You have yours already set up to do that. So
yeah, best to have it set up ahead of time, because that window you think with the 1031 exchange, you've got 45 days to identify a replacement property, then 180 days. Think, oh wow, that's all kinds of time. That can go by pretty quick.
It does go by quick.
Yeah. Especially in a tight market where not a lot of people are selling, and there's a lot of other buyers out trying to find the deals. So far it's worked out.
Yeah, with more people at home, I think more people have time to look for things. It doesn't make us any smarter sometimes, depending on what we're looking at. Some of us are just sitting home, I guess, watching Netflix and eating ding dongs or whatever, whatever's going on. I know at first during this, we gained a bunch of weight, but then we went on a different lifestyle program, and my wife and I both, Laura and I both, have lost 40 pounds since June. And
oh wow.
Just by not eating,
That's great.
Yeah, just by not eating processed foods or additives, and just being aware of what's going on. The funny thing about this is we are eating more volume of food than I've ever eaten in my life. The salad that I eat twice a day, not counting my cooked food and my meat, is usually about enough for 4. I mean, I kid you not. I've taken pictures of these because nobody believes me. I mean, it's a mound of salad, it's all not necessarily salad stuff, but it's all fresh vegetables and stuff. But the big thing is though, too, it's actually a program. It was through a chiropractor, but he's really into health. And you go through and they test your systems and everything. I'm 61 years old. I just turned 61. And when I started this program, my metabolism was at a 63-year-old age, for where it was at. I just went last week and I'm at a 42-year-old right now. My body, which is amazing. And the biggest thing is I feel good. Back, in May and June, I couldn't get off the floor when I played with my 3-year-old grandson. Now I'm ready to go play with him, so that's it really just, we all have the same opportunity. It's just, we just decided, I was getting where I was too tight in my pants. I never paid that much attention, but then all of a sudden here we are. And then I'm looking at myself every day because I'm not wearing dress clothes. I'm wearing, shorts and t-shirts, and I'm going, oh my, something has to happen here, So anyway, that was just a little off the subject, but that was just, I'm kind of happy about this because it's my wife, Lauren, at my fifth anniversary today.
Oh,
Happy
congratulations.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we've been together 10 years, and we got married about 5 years ago. Well, exactly 5 years ago, right down here by the lake, by our condo here. So
Right.
Yep. We're not going nowhere today. I'm going over to look at a empty house and help clean out some stuff. And then well, he just turned 4. A 4-year-old grandson's coming over to spend the night with us tonight.
Oh, that's fun.
That's going to be our excitement. Yeah, it'll be fun. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
What lake, John? Lake of the Ozarks, or?
No, we live in Weldon Spring out here, and there's a small lake down at the bottom of the condos here by the clubhouse.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I work out there.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
At Enterprise.
Yeah. Very, real close to us here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great place. Mm-hmm. So anybody else on here, feel free to unmute yourself and say hi or tell us what you're talking, what you're doing. Hi, Ricardo.
This is Ricky Clayton. Yep.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
Good.
Oh, good. It got me up this morning. I want to learn about some real estate.
What are you doing right now, Ricky?
Oh, just sitting in my kitchen, thinking about getting some breakfast.
Oh, okay. Do you have any investment properties, or are you just getting started?
No, yeah, I'm just getting started. I'm trying to find some now. So I'm actually on the hunt at 11 o'clock today. I'm gonna go out and look at a couple of them.
Great.
With my realtor. Yeah.
Great. Are you looking to buy and hold, or what are you looking for? Are you looking to rehab, flip?
Yeah, buy and hold.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's one of the best methods right now.
Mm-hmm. Good market. The market's changing, but of course it does all the time. I mean, with what's going on, everybody talks all this time about, well, the new normal and all this. There is no such thing as the new normal in my world. The new normal is things are going to change always. That's normal. And don't worry about what happened before. I'm doing stuff different today than I did 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, everything is different than I've done 6 months ago, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I liked about Ron coming on today. He's changed with the times. He's been around for investing longer than I have, and that's a long time. Okay, but he changes with the environment, with everything. He's done so many different things, and that's why one reason I was kind of excited to have him today. Well, many reasons, but originally he was going to be live coming up. We were going to have the community center in Maryland Heights, and he was going to be here live. He hadn't been here in about three years or so, and we always have a full group, so we were going to actually rent that out. And when all this, all the stuff happened, we had to change something, and we talked to him, and he decided to do a 5-hour training, which he's doing next Friday on the 9th, which is really good at no cost. And so he decided, we talked to him, and we decided to do a preview today, which I'm really, really happy to have. Because he's gonna stuff he does is just amazing. He changes with the times, though, and that's really, I guess, the point is the new normal is nothing is ever normal. It just changes all the time.
Just changes.
You just got to see.
Yeah, I had to think about it because I've been hearing a lot of people saying, no, don't invest right now. On what's going on. And I'm like, I think this is the perfect time to start kind of looking around and seeing what you can see out here.
Yeah, what we've heard, a lot of the wholesalers especially have been doing great business in this environment, because most of their work is done from home anyway, and doing all the marketing and getting the word out. They're looking for properties, and there's a lot of people that want to sell their property but don't want a lot of realtors and bringing a lot of people through their houses. So from what we heard from wholesalers, it's been a great time for them. And I'm agreeing with John. I've been in business about as long as Ron LeGrand. I haven't taken it as seriously as he has as a full timer. I had a full time career with McDonnell Douglas and the Boeing Company, and I've always done real estate on the side. I'm only doing it now because I was able to retire early a few years back. It's been 10 years ago now. That I'm a full-time real estate investor just because I retired from my day job. Things have always changed. Sometimes they change faster, and sometimes they change slower. But it's been some fast changes this year, as John pointed out.
Yeah,
things are always changing.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi.
Good
Ryan,
morning.
Good morning.
Dana, welcome. Yeah, welcome everybody else. Dana, good to see you here. Are you currently an investor, or are you just getting started, or what are you doing?
Just kind of, I mean, I have a couple of properties, so that's pretty much kind of, and looking for maybe one more right now, but
Mhm.
the two I've had, I've had one for quite a while, and I have another one that I've had probably now for about 3 years. I'm still kind of working on getting it together, so that's what I'm actively doing right now, to get that one completed and rented out.
Oh, great.
And
So-
then I'll be looking for one or two more.
Okay. Well, mention, in fact, what are you looking for? You might as well, if you would like to tell us, there's somebody out there might have what you're looking for.
Single families, a small single family.
Mhm.
Well, basically about 3 bedrooms, 2 or 3 bedrooms.
Mhm.
So the one I have one now, that's a 2 family, and the other one is a single family. So I'm hoping to add, like I said, about 2 more single families,
Very nice.
small statues in the St. Louis County area.
Okay. Okay. So if anybody has anything that they're looking to sell out there, keep that in mind. And if you'd like to give some contact information, in fact, this goes for anybody, feel free to go ahead and do that. You can type it in the chat, but when we get the renditions from the recordings, the chat doesn't show up at the same time. So I do encourage you, if you do want to share that, feel free to do so.
Okay.
In fact, that's something I don't know. Some of you I know
Okay.
have been on our Friday meetings we have with the attorneys, with Davis Travelini LLC, with Kathy, Christopher, and Christina, and Lloyd started doing the haves and have-nots, or the haves and wants, a couple of weeks ago we started, and that's pretty good. There's already been some people doing deals. That's something we kind of talked about a little bit that we missed though from Applebee's, and just our informal networking. So this is a good time to share all that. So that's one reason we wanted to start a little bit early today, so you can do this and kind of talk to each other, because it's I think that's a big thing that we're all missing right now. And
Yeah.
we just need to talk more. Some of us are getting stir crazy, I think, too. I mean, personally, I'm on a lot of meetings, but a lot of people come on and it just seems like, we're just missing the in-person, the socialization, I guess we get, our camaraderie, as it is, being with like-minded people. I mean, I know my world is pretty good because Laura's pretty much like-minded, except for some of my crazy idiosyncrasies. But other than that, a lot of people don't have that. They have a lot of children, and just people are out doing different things, So we just kind of need to be around some of our own kind, if there is such a thing,
We took it for granted.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
one of the great things
I
I like
really
about
do miss all the meetings.
Mm-hmm. Right.
one of the great things I like about this group, it's always good to get some positive feedback about what you're doing. I know when I was working at the Boeing company, for a while I was known as when I had multi-families down in South City, I was known as the slumlord. Jokingly.
Nah.
When I retired 10 years earlier than everybody else, I think they quit laughing.
Exactly.
It's nice to get with a group of people that understand what you're doing and are doing the same thing, and give you some positive feedback that, you're doing the right thing, and especially to get the advice early on. I've been a member of this group, hate to say how long, over 30 years, let's say. I don't say that much. But early on, I was picking everybody's mind about, I come with a problem. I said, oh my gosh, I got this tenant that's driving me crazy. Somebody would grab me, take me over to the side and say, okay, this is what you do. And give me some advice. And I run out and, took his advice, and I came back the next month and said, you know something, that worked. I got her, she's gone now. And just those kind of things. It's great to be with a bunch of people that are doing the same thing you're doing. They understand, and like you said, and I know these days I'm passing along advice to our younger members that are coming on board, just trying to get started and starting out with their first or their second properties. And
Mhm.
I know how it is because I was there. It doesn't seem like that many years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, the thing good, that you've done so well too, it's kind of funny, Lloyd, that when you talk to other people and you got to listen, a lot of people want to give you advice, but they've never done what you want to do. So that's who, what I've noticed, you've got to look at who's done what you want to do, because a lot of people want to keep you safe and secure, and that's okay, like your family members and some of your friends, but they don't know any better. They want to keep you in there where they're at because they know that world. If you talk to somebody, go see somebody that's already done. One of the things that I looked at early on was I met a guy, an older guy, had 500 rental properties. I said, that's what I want to do. Well, I said, I want to retire like that. So I started working on it. After what I found though is after I got about 35 of them, it was too much work with or without a management company. It was too much. So I've kind of changed what I've done over the years, and I'm down to hardly any rental properties. I do owner financing now. I like to create the notes. I like to go ahead and do that. I know Vina talked about it, I don't know, a month ago or so when we were at with her program out in Ohio, and she talked about, we're not landlords, we're housing providers. I actually think we're home providers. We're providing homes because housing is still kind of doesn't have that human element that I look at things a little bit differently now. I want homeowners. I don't want tenants. Because a tenant, it's a mentality, and that's what a lot of it is. I want to just provide the home for them, and I want them to take care of it. It's their home. So I do things a little different than I used to as far as my screening process. I don't do rent to owns. I personally don't do lease options, and I don't do rentals anymore, even though I have a few. But I do, I'm just the bank. I just sit there. I don't go look at the houses. I don't worry about them paying them. They just need to pay me like they pay the bank and take care of their place. So it's just a different way, but the guy, and I'm sure he had a better system than I ever went through. 500 rental properties. I thought, my gosh, if you just get, a couple $100 on each one, what a portfolio, But there's a lot more that comes to that with that than what I first thought. But see, by staying involved with our group and with people that are doing this stuff, I learn all this to see what works, what doesn't work. But it's not the people that it's and I love my family. Don't get me wrong, but the advice they give me is never anything that made me $1 million. I'll tell you that. It has never helped my rental portfolios. It's never helped anything I've done as far as my investing. So. Not that there's anything wrong with listening to them, because they do want to keep you safe and secure. It's just not where I'm headed. So, and I know that our group in particular, we're nonprofit, and we're more about education, and there's nothing wrong with making a profit. Nothing wrong at all. It's just, we're not out there to, sell you our bad properties, or, because some of the groups, and I shouldn't say bad properties, but they're out to sell the properties. They're out to sell you courses all the time or something. And there's nothing wrong with some of that. I've actually spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on courses myself. And some of them were well worth the money. Some of them were not. Okay. And that's what you got to kind of sift and sort through. So that's one thing I like about our group is we kind of do that. We kind of, we don't have a lot of selling events, but we always have something that's very much of value when we do bring something. So we just, so anyway, that's, anybody else have anything they'd like to add? I mean, I'm to that.
No, John, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, because even when we do offer, have speakers that have programs that we require that they bring quality content even to the free part of their program. If they have other programs that we can sign up for, they have to offer some quality content in there in the presentations we do offer to all of our membership for free.
Mm-hmm. Well, the networking too with the local group is so important too, because I learn a lot of stuff from a lot of different places. But see, we can get together every month or so, and or actually a couple times a month, and now we're even able to do it more. But see what everybody's doing in our local area. I mean, we had Laura Lennington on a couple weeks back, and she is just killing it right now and staying at home. She's doing things just a little bit different than she did before. And, you know, I've personally done a lot of business with her, and I'm actually working on something right now. We're doing something with an auction with somebody she's working with. And so it's a little bit different. In fact, I'll fill you in on that probably in a month or so after we get done with that, because I don't like to say anything too early. But I mean, there's just a lot of these dudes doing a lot of things differently, and that's, you know, we kind of talked about that a little bit. Right now, things are different. You know, the new normal. There's no such thing as a new normal. It's always the normal. Things are different all the time. So it's just so good we can get together like this. And
Yes.
I can see this going on, being our, you know, online and offline from, you know, pretty much from now on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is a great platform to, even when we are get meeting in person, to in between those our monthly meetings or our twice a month get-togethers. This is a good opportunity to have some additional networking, and to bring people that, you know, can't make it to our local events, because I know we've got people from all over that are investing in St. Louis, and they like to tune in to see what's going on. So I'm sure we'll have a lot of people on today and then next Friday that outside of the St. Louis area, just because they're part of our group, and they've tuned into what's going on in St. Louis. In fact, out on the coast, I think that's why we get so many people investing in St. Louis. They're saying, "Hey, what are some of the good places to invest in?" You know, California's kind of pegged out, and seeing a lot of big cities on the East Coast, and they're looking for the good deals, and they're saying, "Wow, real estate is pretty affordable still in the St. Louis area."
Mm-hmm.
So we get a lot more people coming in, and this gives them an opportunity to listen in on see what's going on in St. Louis.
Yeah, I was on a call actually the other day. It was, well, with my friend and mentor, Robert Allen, and he does a call every Thursday that we're on, have been for the last few years. And somebody was talking about, they're from California. Yeah, I remember the good old days that we get $50,000 properties. And I said, we still get $50,000 properties. They're like, where do you live? You know? It's like, you can still buy a $50,000 property that will cash flow, and not in a really bad neighborhood. You know, I mean, it's something that, you know, you can live in. I mean, it's not we got deals like that. Now you might have to look a little bit, okay, but they're out there, like you were talking about with the wholesalers, Lloyd. Yeah, they're out as strong as ever right now. Things are really going on in our area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, John and Lloyd, I have a question. This is Anash Wadia.
Yes.
I've got about 10 rentals. I'm looking for a good real estate knowledgeable accountant, particularly in the St. Charles area. Lloyd, I don't know if you're familiar with someone.
Yeah, I use Brian Hollander here in St. Charles. He's a small company. He's a CPA. He's been doing my taxes and helping me out. I call him for advice when I need him. I can look up his confirmation. Anyway, Brian Hollander, Hollandder.
Perfect. I'll look him up. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Lloyd. That's something that you know, everybody needs is a good accountant, good CPA, as well as an attorney. But I think that's the first place to start when if you're fairly new. Obviously, Anash, you have 10 properties. You're not brand new. And it's just it's good to have everybody as part of your team on the same page too. That's something I noticed when I first started, is somebody that understands investors. You know, and if they're investors themselves, that helps. I know my attorney, he just retired, semi-retired recently, but last I talked to him, he had like 44 rental properties. So he looks at things a little bit differently than some of the other people out there. I mean,
exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
And accountants the same way. You know, you got some, you know, whether they invest or not, you want somebody that understands the investment mindset and investors themselves.
Yeah, Brian is an investor. I think he has some houses, but he also owns the commercial building where his office is, and he leases out the other half to an attorney. So he understands the commercial and residential side of the real estate market.
Well, next time you talk to him, Lloyd, maybe you can see if he would like to talk to our group here. We'd be happy to set that up.
You know, we talked about that at some of the board meetings. We need to get a CPA, but all the really good CPAs are so busy. They don't want to come, you know, and soliciting our business because they know they'll get a lot of calls from our members. I'm planning on next time I talk with him, which would be before the end of the year here. I'm going to have a discussion with him because I got some tax issues to talk to about before December. So I'll be talking with him shortly. I'll ask him if he'll come on. Maybe we can get him on one of these calls to talk to us about.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, it looks like Ron joined us. Ron, are you out there?
I see him there.
Might have to unmute yourself. Let me see if I can
You unmute him.
find that here. Yeah, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, the new settings, they automatically have this everybody muted when we come in now. I'm not the most technical guy, so I'm still working on it. I'm a work in progress, and then they changed a few little things on me.
Figure it out. Yeah, they changed it, put a new system in place.
Yeah. You want to remind everybody to send me an email. I do have just for attending today, I do have something I'm putting together. It's kind of a special thing that it's a little preview of what we're going to do, what we're going to get next year. It's kind of towards, we've had the workbook in the past, and I'm kind of redoing that. And just for coming in today, I want to give you everybody give you a copy of what we're working on for next year. So kind of a precursor. I know the year will be over with soon. So I wanted to get that out now, but that's just for coming today. I want to give that to you. Yeah.
What's your email address, John?
It's the best one to send it to me at is thedealionaire@gmail.com. I put it in the chat here. It's the first one. You might have to scroll up. There's a few more. I'll put it in there again. And let's see here.
I guess I joined after you put that in because I don't get to see it. There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
I'll put it in there again for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm pretty easy to find. You can always respond to this, but that goes to a different email where I actually literally get hundreds a day in my other one. So this one I'll get to a little bit quicker. It'll be ready probably by the end of next week. So I'll go ahead and send that. So anybody wants to send me a request, you'll get just kind of a preview on this. It's actually a very good resource book. We put a lot into this. It's kind of developed. I think the first one I did was 2016 or 17, and we've kind of refined it each year. We've made it a workbook, and what we decided to do is make it to where it's a better resource book because we don't know what's gonna happen with our with our live meetings and our live events. We are going to go back as soon as we can, with all the everything that's going on. It's going to be different, but we are going to continue our online events. So I wanted to make that to where you can take notes and do everything right within the book itself, kind of like we did before, but we don't know what our schedule is actually going to be right now. I know we've had a few more meetings since we've been meeting virtually than we normally have, but then again, we do want to get back to live as soon as we can. So that's just, it's all in the works. So send me a request though, and I would be happy to send that to you. Anybody else have anything they're looking to buy, looking to sell?
Well, I'll just mention it again. I do have a property under contract in Bonne Terre. It's right in Bonne Terre proper. Great community, lovely neighborhood. It's a 2-story, needs some, a little bit more rehab. It's about a $50,000 rehab. I'm asking 60. I've got the ARV around 160. So there's room there. There's going to be some meat on the bone for somebody. A little bit of the demo has already started. It's an older property, and so with that layout, it would do well to open up the kitchen and the living room to give it more of that open floor plan. And some of that has already been started. So it's easy to see what you're looking at with this property because right in the kitchen and the family room. It has been demoed back to the studs, so you get to see what's going on. If anybody's interested, feel free to reach out. Best email would be dave.lee.realestate@gmail.
Would you like to type that in there, Dave?
I would be happy to, and I'll throw in my phone number there as well.
Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How people to get a hold of you. Yeah.
I know you said the chat didn't get preserved, so I'll just say it out loud here, but best phone number is 636-591-1969.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else who wants to put anything in there, it's good to put it in the chat so you can write it down. I know personally, I'll write something down, you'll tell me, and then my writing doesn't always work like your voice did, so it's not always right. So if I copy it, it's good. But then again, when we do the renditions for the recordings here, they don't transfer. I can't really put that up on like on a replay. So it's good to do both. Yeah. And Bonterre, that's kind of where I started doing a lot of. I wouldn't say I started there, but I've done a lot of investment properties down in St. Francis County, in surrounding counties there. So it's a little drive, like Lloyd was saying. It's almost like going on vacation too. You just got back from the Ozarks. I always liked working down there because I feel like I'm on vacation. It's not really like work, you know. So. What part of Arkansas, you said you had a property there, Dave. What part of Arkansas was that from?
It was north central Arkansas, right by Greer's Ferry Lake. And so that property was like 4 minutes from the marina.
Mm-hmm.
And so for that lake, that's a deal where the surrounding communities each have a marina. So there's about half a dozen marinas on the lake. And if you live in one of those communities, then you get preferential access to that marina. And so this property had that kind of access with one of the better marinas on this lake. So, you know, we've talked about Lake of the Ozarks, and some people are familiar with Table Rock Lake.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this is even the next step up, more pretty than Table Rock Lake. Just gorgeous Ozark setting. You're on the water, and you know 360 degrees. You've got these Ozark Mountains surrounding you. Just absolutely gorgeous, sportsman's paradise.
Mm-hmm.
And so that went to a couple. I owner financed it to them, and they send me emails with pictures of the improvements they've made and tell me how happy their family is. And so for anybody who gets that negativity on the front end, to get that positivity on the back end from the people that you sold to, and just know that we're really helping communities, helping people. You know, we got to make a little profit. That's business. Got to.
Mm-hmm.
But those intangible rewards of getting that positivity from the people that you've helped, man, that's a motivation changer.
Mm-hmm. Well, why did you get into real estate investing, Dave? What was your original motivation?
You know, I'm 20 years into the corporate life, and I just thought that I needed a boost to my retirement plan. You know, and so in my background, I was comfortable with rehabs and had done a lot on my own residential, like my own permanent, personal residences. And so I just thought it was a natural evolution. And so it's been a great fit.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a great fit.
That's good. I'm always curious to see why people get into it. Sometimes it's you know, because there's always a reason. Sometimes people are almost forced into it. You've inherited something, or you know, you have a property you couldn't sell. But then, like you know, you were actually just wanting to do it. Probably, it sounds like for a better life for yourself. Is the main
Yeah,
reason.
you know, and
To help others.
Help others. You know, and I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it changed my mindset, and then it just got me eager to learn more.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do appreciate being my own business owner versus an employee. That's a mindset shift.
Mhm.
You know, and I still take projects on the side for my former employer as a consultant, and it does change my mentality as an employee
Mhm.
now that I'm a business owner. You know, I'm like, okay, I kind of get what they're saying now. I need to, you know, it's made me a better employee even. It's just it's helped me grow in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
So
Well, wow. Thanks for sharing that, Dave. That's great. That's a
course.
great great testimonial to yourself, you know, and to others. It's really
Well, and the others that I've learned from, you know, I haven't I haven't invented anything, you know.
well,
Um,
that,
being at the right place and learning from the right people, you know, that's what I would credit that to.
that's a good point you have right there, Dave. You haven't invented anything. And I look back on that too. What you've done is you just made it your own. Nothing is really new. They've done stuff, even like, you know, Airbnbs came up in the last few years and everybody, you know, a lot of people thought that was a new way to invest. That's nothing new. Boarding houses have been around for what, hundreds, thousands of years. I mean, it's just a different twist on it. It's nothing new. Nothing I do is new. I've just taken what I liked and what worked for me out of what I've learned from other, you know, from other people that have done other things and taken what works for me. And it sounds like that's exactly what you do. And that's a good encouragement for everybody else, especially new people, or even some of us that have been around for a while, because it's easy to get set in certain ways, but just look at things with different eyes. And I think that's one thing that the groups, you know, especially our group here, really helps. I know it helps me do, is I just look at things differently, because we all have a different, you know, a different method, a different way we like to do things, and we can learn a lot from each other. You know, that's really nice that we're having some, you know, some time to network here too, you know, because of that. Just to see what everybody's doing. I especially like that right now, you know, to see what everybody's doing right now. You know, for our new normal, you know, I keep to say that, but you know, for what's changing, you know, that's really what it's all about. So it's a great story. We had a couple people. Let's see. Somebody wanted to know. This is networking. You feel free to unmute yourself too if you want to say that. But I think Jasmine said she wanted. Let's see. Know about hard money lenders. Yeah, we do have. They're not exactly hard money, but they're more. They're kind of hard money, but they work with investors. It is JMP with Rob Fishbein. He did a couple of presentations. If you want to look at some previous replays we have in our members section on the website, STLREIA.com, and look in the members section and look for the replays. Rob has some in there, or you can send to the admin and we'll send you his phone number. But he's in our vendor section. Somebody else wanted to know about roofers. Does anybody know a good roofer in the city of St. Louis they'd like to share? That was Arthur, I think. Yeah. So that's, Dwayne, I wanted to know what kind of roofer you need. Well, probably one that does roofs. I don't know.
They want to understand. I had properties there. Is it a flat
Yeah.
flat roof, hot tar, or is
Right.
it a shingle built up, or you got some old slate you need repaired? There's a lot of different specialties of roofing in St. Louis, so I understand where Wayne's coming from.
Right.
And this is Arthur. How you doing? Yeah, it's a flat roof, but the flat roof portion is done. It's the gable portion of it that I need repaired that has the slate on it. And the couple of people that I talked to, I told them you could take the slate off and put regular shingles on. I just need it repaired.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a matter of the cost, though. With the repairs, there aren't as many people that can repair slate, and it's expensive.
Yeah.
I know our house, when I lived in South City, we had slate and we had it repaired once. But before we moved, we had the whole thing taken down and put shingles on, asphalt shingles, because the expense of replacing the whole thing was too prohibitive.
Yeah. So I'm fine with, I can find somebody that can just replace it and put like you said, the regular shingles on. I'm fine with that. It's a rental, so I'm not too attached.
You're not attached to the historic value of the having the slate roof, then.
I'm attached to the profit. That's what I'm attached to.
Anybody that puts on asphalt shingles should be able to take care of you then.
Okay.
Oh, it looks like Shin Lu's looking for a recommendation for a flat roof. Feel free to unmute yourself, Shin, if you want to talk. Shin Lu, if you want to talk about that. Let's see, somebody else. So roofers that seems to be popular. Wasn't somebody else looking for a roofer last week too, if I remember right? And I know somebody's looking for some deck work too.
I'm still looking for a deck repair.
Yeah, okay.
Like I say, I took a week off. I'm back on it now.
Hey, Lloyd, I'm looking for a tuck pointer.
Tuck pointer. I've kind of gotten away from that now that I'm not in South St. Louis anymore with all my all brick buildings.
Yeah, well, this is for a chimney, so.
Chimney, okay. Well, the same guys that do everything will do a chimney too, if you can get them to break away. Sometimes you're better off if you could find just an individual looking for a little on the side to do some chimney work. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know of anybody. If anybody does though, feel free to unmute yourself and tune in or give Jim a recommendation in the chat.
I had a good guy and he retired on me. I don't know why he did that, but.
That's the same problem I've had. Yeah, I had a couple of great carpenters and they did several kitchens for me and all kinds of repairs. And now the main one retired and the other guy just went back to working for another contractor. So,
You know, one thing, especially for the new ones out there, when you need this works with some trades, some it doesn't, but like for a painter, sometimes you can go to, Sherwin-Williams or other places that specialize, strictly in their, manufacturer's paint, and just ask them there at the counter. And a lot of times they'll give you a small family run company or 1 or 2 man type deal, rather than, huge painting companies that have such a high overhead that it just blows you away on what the cost is. So I've done that more than once and have gotten some names. Same for like landscaping. Go to the nursery sometimes, say, hey, I need a 1 or 2 man band type company, small family run and with low overhead, and they'll give you some names. So that way, plumbing, do the same thing. Go to a regular plumbing supply house and say, I just want somebody, small time, not real huge. Their overhead's lower. They don't have all the high advertising costs or HR costs of larger companies. You still want to make sure they're insured, but I found that to be successful too, to get different tradespeople, And then sometimes you just do it yourself for those who would like to do that kind of stuff, which is me. But, how the engineer is in us, Lloyd, for those who are engineers. Just can't seem not to do certain stuff that we probably should hire out. One thing
Blessing and a curse.
Yeah. So anyway, just a little trick I've learned over the years. It's really paid off with.
Sounds like some good advice. Yeah.
James just typed in there. It looks like Andre tuck pointing and brickwork.
Yeah, there you go.
So I don't know. Yeah, James, do you happen to have any contact info on there? Okay, if you do, feel free to share that. But that'll get you started. You can probably look up the name there, Jim. And
yeah, I can look it up. Thank you. Thanks, James.
Dane is looking for a plumber. That's I know there's a lot of variety that goes there. So I don't know. I've had some people that were licensed that could, that you need for permits and things. I've had other people that could do little jobs that didn't need to be licensed. So I know that covers a little range too.
Well, and one thing, John, about the plumbers, for those who are just getting into this, maybe even for you more experienced landlords, when you have a water heater in St. Louis County go out on you, if you're in St. Louis County in particular, I would highly recommend you have a licensed plumber replace that and have him pull a permit on it too, because when you go to sell it, sometimes the inspectors will say, hey, where is your permit on this new water heater? And if you don't have one, you're stuck.
Yeah.
And I have almost had that happen to me because I used to put them in myself. So that's one thing now I don't mess with. I go and get a licensed plumber. It's going to cost you twice as much as what it used to, but you know it's going to be done right, and they got to put an expansion tank in with that. Excuse me. But that's one thing you want to don't mess around with. So at least if you're in St. Louis County, I don't know how it is in the city of St. Louis or other areas, but if you're unincorporated St. Louis County, and I'm sure this will apply to at least some of the other municipalities, you better beware of that and have it done.
St. Charles, yeah, St. Charles City is the same way. All of my rentals are in St. Charles City. They require it. And I found, in fact, I was going to mention Trio Plumbing is one that I've used because they do all the water heater installs for Lowe's and I believe Home Depot too. It's my last one. I generally work with Lowe's. They put in a couple of water heaters for me. They do the permits and everything, take care of all that. And I found out I called a Trio Plumbing on other issues too because I figured if they're competitive enough that they're going to get all the work for Lowe's, their overhead's going to be, their rates are going to be pretty competitive on other things. And I found that to be true when I had a head scratcher problem with the plumbing that I couldn't take care of myself. I've called Trio before and they were very, very reasonable. Sent a guy came out and the same day, I think it was the last time I called and took care of it, my issue for me.
That's great. Those are good points because we just personally had a new hot water heater put in, and the expansion tank is one of the things that added extra expense. But without the permit like you say, Jim, down the road, you're going to have an issue with that. And just get it done once because you get a budget one maybe for somebody, a brother-in-law that could do it on the side. But then what's going to happen when you go to transfer that property? So you've got to keep that in mind. So that's a great point. Yeah, if you could share that information, Lloyd, that would be good. If you happen to have their phone number.
I'll pull my phone here while we get. I see Ron